Hey there, sickos! How we doing today? Hopefully you're all having an amazing day. Thank you very much for tuning in. Of course, if you're new around here, I'm GoreCore. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to have another music reaction, and today we are going to return to the band Psycroptic. We're going to check out their new song and video entitled Gathering a Venomous Herd that comes off of their upcoming album, The Pulse of Annihilation, which is due out on July 17th through Metal Blade Records. Now, if you're not familiar with these guys, they're based out of Australia and they play technical death metal. Now, I did a reaction to these guys a few years back, so I think kind of in the early iteration of this channel. I don't really recall that song very well, but this is a band that I used to listen to quite some time ago, and quite a lot. But they did kind of fall off the radar, and something tells me they changed their sound a little bit at a certain point that I wasn't so big on. I don't recall if I liked the last song or not. I'm really not too sure, so I am curious to see what we're going to get with this. Like I said, I've definitely enjoyed material from the band in the past, so I'm hoping that they're still kicking ass, and this is going to be something I'm into. But before we do get into this, I have a favor to ask of all of you. If by chance you're a fan of horror, early in the year I released my debut horror short film, The Treatment and the Cure. You can find a link in the description, as well as right here. It would mean the world to us if you could give that a watch, leave a comment, like it, share it with your friends. Anything helps to get eyes on it, and this is something we would like to pursue in the future. We would definitely like to do more short films. We're currently working on the story for another one, but of course the support of all of you definitely makes this happen a lot easier. Hopefully in the future we can do bigger projects, maybe get some funding, stuff like that. So the more eyes we can get on this stuff, the more it helps out, and we would definitely appreciate it so much. We've already been accepted to a bunch of film festivals. We won a couple awards with this, despite being a very low budget DIY film. But I think that's part of the charm of it. So again, if you like independent horror, you might find some enjoyment in it. But yeah, I digress. Definitely appreciate it if you do that. But let's get back into this reaction, see what new Psycroptic is all about. Riff. Okay, so I already noticed that from the old material, the vocals are more screamy. Here it's a bit more hardcore sounding. Big dash and a bit of a groove to it. Pretty wild on guitar. A lot of runs taking place. I will admit, I'm not as big on these vocals as how they used to be, but I have warmed up to that hardcore vocal a little bit, and it definitely doesn't bother me as much as it probably would once. Still sounds sick. Some of the vocals are brutal. Crazy guitar work. And drums too. Music's nuts, for sure. But also catchy, which is cool. It's got some groove, which is nice. There we have it. That was Psycroptic with Gathering a Venomous Herd, and I have to say, overall, I definitely enjoyed this song. Like I said, the vocals are the one thing that threw me off a little bit, and I have warmed up to this more hardcore vocal approach. At one time, I used to hate these vocals. To me, I wanted growls and screams. I always kind of thought the hardcore voice just sounded kind of cheesy, but I have noticed in recent years, especially with it being mixed a lot in deathcore stuff, I really have warmed up to it, and there's definitely an angry element to it that I can appreciate, so I have been more accepting of this than in the past, but it does still throw me off a little bit. But like I said, I just wasn't sure what we were getting into, so right off the get-go it was like, oh, okay, this vocalist is doing something different. Now, I don't know if this is the original vocalist and he changed his style, or if they got a different vocalist at some point and that's just the style that came with him. Not too sure. I don't know the history of the band, so I can't really chime in on that. But either way, the song overall was great. Musicianship here is top notch for sure. The drums are super sick, crazy fills taking place, little different time signatures and stuff. Everything there is very involved and well played and suiting to the parts. The guitar and bass work is definitely technical. A lot of crazy runs taking place there, and some, I don't know if they're weird timings or if they're just kind of like on the backbeats or what's going on there. I'm not really big into time signatures and stuff, or not that I'm not big into them. I don't follow them very well. I'm self-taught, so I don't know theory and whatnot, so I don't catch on to all that stuff and that. But there was moments definitely where you're like, okay, I don't know if this is a 4/4 beat and we're just playing strangely to it, or if it's actually a strange time signature. But it definitely came across as being, you know, a bit all over the place, but it all flowed together nicely, which was great. So it all worked for me. So musicians are killing it. Like I said, the vocalist is doing a great job. I think I need to listen to it a little bit more to be a little bit more, you know, warmed up to those hardcore vocals. But then he had moments where he did synced up vocals and some gutturals and stuff that were definitely more extreme and more akin to what I'm used to. But yeah, overall, great stuff here. The band's doing a fantastic job. Everything is played well. It's a great presentation. As far as the video goes, nothing too crazy, mostly band footage. We did have this other character in there, and I will admit I don't really know what the point of that was or how it was supposed to play out. I was kind of just immersed in the music and focusing on that, so I think it was just kind of a visual to have there, but not 100% sure. But either way, again, it's all about getting your music out there, so even if you're making simple music videos, I mean, that's better than doing nothing. At least you're putting some work into it and trying to get your music out there for everybody to hear. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, because let's face it, like, yeah, it's cool to see cool music videos, but really when it comes down to music and bands, it's first and foremost the music. This is just another means to kind of push it out there. So they're doing that. It's a good presentation. It was filmed nicely. It looks professional. So only good things to say. So with that being said, if this is the first time you heard the band and you enjoyed this, go check them out, see what you think. I'm not super familiar with their later material, so I can't really comment on that. I can definitely say their early stuff was quite wild and definitely crazy, and I very much enjoyed that. So I really need to listen to the newer stuff more, but once again, there's so many bands out there, it's hard to put all the time into them. But yes, if you did enjoy this, go check them out, see what you think, and if you do enjoy them, support them like any band that you enjoy. If you have a moment to help support this channel, then please subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Impale that like button. And if you'd like to get future updates, stab the notification bell down below for that. Also, don't forget about those socials down below. You can follow me on all of the major platforms. Of course, the original link is there. And if you'd like to check out some of my bands, I have links for that down below as well. It's all extreme stuff as well. It falls in, you know, death metal, black metal, deathcore, stuff like that. So if you do take the time to listen to something, I would love to get some feedback from you. But first and foremost, check out this short film if you're a horror fan. I would appreciate that so much. That's where my focus is at the moment, and that's really where I want people to focus their energy on, so I can do more of this in the future. So if you do that, I would appreciate it so much. And once again, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all of your support and taking the time to watch these. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Cheers, everybody. Stay sick.